Come on, let's go.
Welcome back, people.
What's happening? Got Ben, Andy in the attic,
You're
Jay.
so enthusiastic.
Topped Up Beer
Yes.
Review. We are here at Innerspace in Huntsville, Alabama, and we're going to do a flight review live. Something we have not done before.
Yeah,
Live on site, other
it's
than
exciting.
Campus 805. But yeah,
Live, not live.
live, not live. Yeah,
Not a beer review though.
correct. So we can't cut, we can't edit. It's just we're going to just do it. So
Howdy toddy.
what you get is what you get.
So
All
you're
right.
getting beer for the final frontier.
That's their logo, right?
Yeah, beer for the
Okay.
final frontier.
There you go.
It's a cool brewery, founded in 2018, microbrewery, family owned, and they have a space theme because this is Huntsville, Rocket City, and it's focused on small batch and farmhouse ales, low gravity type beers. So our first one is actually a sour, Frangatang. It's 4.5%.
Orangutan, very suited for
Oh.
October.
Cheers.
It has a tang smell to it. Cheers,
Hang
mate.
on, tang.
Cheers, mates. That's neighbor's table.
Very light.
Ooh, I want more.
Yeah. What's that fruit? What was the fruit in here?
Tang.
Oh, Frank. Okay.
Not to be confused with twang.
Mm,
Ben's favorite word.
twang, for sure. No, do we not know what the fruit is in this?
It's easy drinking.
Untapped was down and their website shows nothing.
All right, so we're doing this just by the seat of our pants.
We're trying to figure out what in the world is. We're going to break it down.
Almost like a raspberry.
I think that's right. That
Yeah.
would be my guess. Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Hmm.
So,
Oh, if I recall, the Frang fruit is from like Middle Asia.
is that like a star fruit?
No, I'm just making it up. I have no idea what Frang is from. Yes,
Well, all right.
I'm a fan of the Frang.
Then why don't you go ahead and rate it for us today?
I'm giving it
Let
7.
Andy go first for a
Yeah,
while.
Yeah.
7.5. It's good. It's tangy, fruity, and mildly sour.
Yeah.
So it's good. Very refreshing for this hot day.
Yes. Our producer is telling you to talk louder.
I don't talk loud.
Talk louder, Andy.
Nah, I'll just be a mystery. Your turn.
All right. Well, this is going to be a great show. So,
Be after you. Trying to get that sweet beer.
yeah. Hey, what's up?
How gentlemen doing today?
You're doing good. Thank you. We're doing a live show here on YouTube. If that's cool. Is that all right?
Oh yeah,
All
absolutely.
right. Cool.
My name's Stuart. I'm the owner.
Oh, cool.
Sit in?
Yeah.
Yeah, they like to review beer.
You want to sit in with them? You got a game coming.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Absolutely,
tonight.
yeah.
How's that going to work out? Both of you. Yeah. We
Yeah,
all.
we
Oh,
all
oh,
did.
oh,
We all went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bartender.
Oh,
Yeah, we met her. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't recognize her. She's like not wearing head to toe LSU.
She's going to be obnoxious later.
Yeah.
She's going to be obnoxious later one way or another. That's all that matters.
Did not consent to be on. Did you even ask him? That was
Yeah.
rude.
He said he wanted to.
Consent is given.
It was in his eyes.
Tell me about y'all's podcast.
So we have a pretty lame beer review show.
All right.
It's not lame.
Yeah, we started this about 2 years ago.
2.5.
2.5, yeah. We've done we typically do a Zoom type call because we don't live all in the same spot.
Okay.
We're both from Mississippi. He lives here. And so we typically, meet and do one beer, one review. And we've done about, 450 of them at this point. Do release 3 a week.
So what did y'all get today?
So we're starting with the Frangatang.
Frank Tank?
Yep.
great.
And then
Dunkel, and the Pub Ale, and then the Artemis.
Artemis. Okay. Good. The Artemis is one we do very rarely, but wanted to bring that one back up because it wanted our IC3PA is 7.2 ABV. It's fairly big beer for an IPA. Want something that's cleaner, crisper, a little bit lower ABV, so it's 5%. And actually did a fun thing with that one. We brewed a single batch, split it into two wildly different hops, and so we're running that after NASA's Artemis program, right? So that's
Right.
Return to the Moon. So the missions are 1, 2, 3, 4. You know how many they do. So this is Artemis 1, and this is kind of the baseline Artemis. The next one is in the tank right now, but not on tap yet. Has the Nelson Sauvin
Oh, nice.
hop. So it tastes wildly different. For the same base beer, it's the base on that is going to be Pilsner and Vienna, and then use El Dorado hops as the bittering hop, Amarillo through the middle of the process, and then this Artemis is Citra, and then the next one after that we'll do Simcoe and Mosaic.
Awesome.
Idea is we're just going to run through them and get feedback from folks and try to figure out what Artemis Mission people like the best.
That's awesome.
And that's one we'll take to market.
How long have you been doing this?
6 years. 6 years.
Oh, wow. What brought you into this?
We took a family trip to Munich in
Oh, fun.
2009. That's going back a long way. So craft beer movement was just getting going at that point in time, and it was myself, my wife, our 2 adult stepsons, and we had the best time at the breweries in Munich. Just spent an inordinate amount of time there, but what we really loved was the atmosphere. Again, this is a little bit before the craft beer movement taken off, particularly in Alabama. Yeah, 2008 was the beginning of it.
Mississippi.
So
yeah, we had the same story for us.
So we started doing that, and we love the interaction with people. You can see it's Munich. There are a lot of tourists come in. There also were a lot of locals. There were events going on where people were coming dressed in periodic German gear, not one period in particular, but a little bit older than that. And it was really, really neat, and it kind of planted the seeds. And we've been home brewing for a while anyway. And the opportunity came up a couple years later to really start looking into it. And
Y'all's story is so similar to a lot of other breweries that we've reviewed, because we don't do a lot of live. This is like the second time we've all gotten together
that's cool.
to do it,
Congrats
because
on
we
that,
can't just get
Yeah.
together. But when I research all these different breweries, it's trip to Europe, saw the beer scene, and they're like, I want to do something back at home brewer, and they're like, let's do it.
Let's
Yeah.
Now,
So that was it in a nutshell for us.
Cool. Thank you for sharing.
No, happy to.
What's
Thank
your
y'all.
favorite beer you made?
My favorite is our Sky Farmhouse Ale. It's our flagship beer, but it's not anywhere close to our best-selling beer. But I'm still a super fan of it, of our main line. We do some other saisons that periodically that I'm even more fond of, but the Sky Farmers thing is my favorite.
What's your bestseller?
The bestseller is this year. So the beer market, I'm sure you guys have seen, is moving or bifurcating almost into IPAs and lagers, right? So there's a lot of move away from the more middling beers. Our Lightspeed lager has been our bestseller, or just neck and neck with the IC3PA. But we've had periods of months at a time where we didn't even have an IPA on tap. We've been saison heavy from the beginning, but my favorite style overall is if I go into somebody else's brewery and order a beer, I'm invariably going to be an idiot, and I'm going to get the IPA right off the bat. I'm going to blow out my taste buds, and then it's going to ruin the experience for every other beer they have. And I tell myself that walking in, and I was like, oh man, I got to try that IPA.
Yeah.
And
so other than the obvious Huntsville connection, Innerspace, why did you choose that?
No, it's a great question. So you got Huntsville, that's one. Number two, or actually number three. So that was Salty Nut Brewery was over there when we opened up. And you've got the Yellowhammer and Straight to Ale. So we were in between the others. So that was the inner, but the gist of it was I think Timothy Leary talked about taking LSD, improving one's own inner space. So we did a riff on that and said, okay, a great craft beer will improve your own inner space.
Yeah.
Even if it expands it somewhat, it'll still improve it. So that was that's actually the real reason. That and the Huntsville.
So it wasn't the 80s Dennis Quaid movie.
Still never seen that movie. No, I've never seen.
Playing on repeat.
Yeah, I've never seen E.T. either. But we do play the Star Lost all the time on. So we used to be known for that. It's a god awful television series from a Canadian television series in the early 70s. We all have a great time.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
So where are you going to watch the game now?
We're going back to the house, I think.
Yeah. We don't want to cause any problems for anybody.
It's a funny thing about SEC fans in general. There's a tendency to, when we opened this up, and the people with other breweries said, hey, we opened in the spring. Said, you'll have a great spring, have a great summer. Just go ahead and get ready for the fact that when fall comes, you think it's going to be wonderful, but football fans are going to watch their games at home. And I was like, I kind of get that. I'm an Auburn fan, so I'm a terrible fan. So I know I don't really need to be in public. Well, I mean, the outcome is kind of foregone this year anyway. So no, it doesn't matter. I'm over it at this point.
But y'all have done a great thing, like hosting the Havoc parties, Huntsville Havoc.
No, yeah, we have. It's I think we've got our first official watch party next week.
Yeah. They open up next Friday.
Yeah.
They did a preseason game last night.
That's I think some people came in looking for
Yeah,
that.
it wasn't on.
Yeah,
What
we
are the
weren't.
Huntsville Havoc? For
Huntsville
those that don't
Havoc's
know?
a Southern Professional Hockey League. So
Would have never guessed that. I was
you've
going to think
got
soccer.
No, it's
NHL,
super popular in
AHL,
Huntsville.
ECHL, Southern Professional Hockey League. So extremely popular here in Huntsville, being a kind of a military blender city.
Sure.
They sold I think about 4,500 or 5,000 season tickets out of 6,500 total
Wow.
tickets. So they had 17 games last season that were sellouts consecutively. It's a big deal, and Huntsville's a big sports area. They've expanded as we were alluding to. They've got the new Huntsville Football Club. Then the Huntsville Trash Pandas, which is the feeder for the
Best name in sports.
Los Angeles Angels. The Trash Panda, if you don't know, is also a reference to space. So the raccoon. So,
But we
Rocket
wouldn't
the
know that
raccoon.
you, we wouldn't know that you were a season ticket holder to the Havoc, right?
maybe.
What?
All right.
Great talking to y'all.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
Stuart.
you
No,
so
thanks for
much.
coming out
Appreciate you
today.
coming out.
Appreciate it.
No, happy to, absolutely.
That's great. All right. Did you even talk about the beer?
I've not yet, other than we were talking about it, raspberry maybe being the fruit here, but
Project, Ben, come on.
yeah, definitely.
Talk louder.
No, that was definitely pretty cool.
Get that out of my face.
Stuart, if you come back and watch this, appreciate you checking us out
Yeah.
and coming out and sharing with us. That was neat. We don't do
Covering
obviously-
Andy with the mic.
Yeah, we don't normally do obviously these live streams, and definitely not on site. So when we do, it's fun to get these things a little bit. Andy, we're being told.
You
come
just
in here.
find any reason
in
to
here.
touch me.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
Ben, you're so handsy.
So. Yeah. So did you actually give this a score then?
He did.
Yeah.
Okay.
7.5.
All right.
And I finished it.
Yeah, you finished it.
Because I gave it.
How great would y'all get banned from that grade?
Yeah. We're dealing with a little bit of sound from the outside
Some
speakers.
chirpers.
Hopefully we don't get
Hopefully
copyright.
the copyright will stay away from us.
Yeah, but I think this one's good. I think it's very refreshing. I think it's very light. It's very fruity. I think that's, like Jay said, maybe a raspberry. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 7.5. I think it's good.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, it's light, refreshing, easy. It goes down really easy. It's a perfect afternoon beer on a hot day. I've had it before. I can't remember what I rated it, but this is 7.5. So I think that's an easy one across the board.
Yeah, for sure.
Shall
All
we
right.
go dark next?
Yep. Let's move on.
Let's go to the Dunkel. This is 5%. This is their take.
Dunkel.
It's called the Dunkel.
Cheers.
Cheers.
My
mates.
Dunkel overfloweth. Cheers. She
Cheers,
poured
mate.
it. She's trying to get rid of the Dunkel. She
Yeah.
put that to the top of all of her. That is definitely
That's
roasted.
definitely a big shift from the Frang.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Yeah, that is a great roast.
Yeah,
And,
very
and the
roasty.
aroma and the taste.
Yeah,
Oh man, the camera's been pointing at me the whole time.
yeah. That's been a great show then.
Oh, our new producer over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just the big jokester.
Sorry, Dwandy's in Dollywood, so now we've got the C team.
Much more professional.
This one, yeah, I pick up on the roasty notes. It's kind of hard to follow the Frang with this because the taste buds are a little different.
And in the heat.
Yeah, it's got there's a little heat. You're more in the sun than I am, so. I think it's good. It's a little lost in the mix for me. I'm probably gonna go with a 7 on it. I think it's good. It's easy drinking, but in a taste test or things like that, it just seems bland or a little more bland.
Yeah. So, roasty for sure. This one is very, very roasty. And again, maybe it's just, because of the way we're doing a flight here and what we followed it with. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it is extremely roasty for just a dunkel. But that doesn't mean I don't like it. I like the roastiness of it. I mean, this would be one I would go back and get a pint of. We were looking at the beers before, and this was the one I was actually, if we were going to get just a pint, this would be the one that I was going to get. And I'm going to give this one an 8. I think it would have been a good choice for me in a pint. I like it a lot.
And part of my problem is too the coffee connection. It's got some of that roast to it. I just don't drink coffee.
You get roast to a point, and it's just all coffee to you.
Yeah.
I like the malt and the roast. It's a good dark beer, and it is easy to drink. So when you, I really would prefer this more in a cooler temperature or inside in the air conditioning, but I'm at a good 7.5 on this one. This is
right in the middle.
Really easy. Yeah, look at me. Middle of the road.
Middle of the road.
Okay. So up next is the pub ale. This is just their English mild. It is, what did I write down? 4.5%. So, as most of their beers, they said, were pretty low gravity.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mates. Put a beer in your face.
So this is supposed to be an English pub ale? Easy drinking.
It's an English mild, yeah, 4.5.
It's very mild.
This tastes like one of your keg beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be a perfect keg beer.
It's got a good flavor though.
It does. I mean, I don't know if it's just going after the roasty dunkel. It has, I mean, I get roasty a little bit on this one too. Not obviously as much, but
It's got a little bitter in there.
I was about to say, I
Yeah.
get it's a balance
It's more of
of
a bitter.
a little bit of malt, a little bit of bitter.
yeah.
So it's a good mild
Yeah.
English. It reminds me of Lucky Town's, God rest in peace, their pub ale. Lucky Town made a good pub ale like this. This is very reminiscent of that. So this is an easy drinking. This is sessionable.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is an old reliable.
For sure. Yeah.
I'd too give this a 7.5. I like this. I would have it over and over and over. It's quenching. It's better than reaching for a macro.
Oh yeah.
By all
yeah.
means, this has got
That's
flavor.
by far the flavor.
It's got
on
your
it.
hop. It's got your malt.
Yeah.
Good English malt.
That's a good one. I'm a little surprised. Some of the ones I've
Good
had
color,
here in
too.
the past. I actually really like the way that it balances with that bitter. So
Yeah, you still get the bitter out of
yeah,
it. I like it.
I'm right there with you. I think it's a 7.5 for me. Good drinker, and I'd grab that any day over a macro.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, this one's an 8 for me personally. I think it would be a good, like you said, be a great keg beer. It is very flavorful.
I'm a little
Yeah.
surprised. You always hate the bitter.
But I don't
This
get the
is-
bitter so much on the back. I mean, I get a little bit on the back end, but it's like what I hate about bitter is the overly bitter.
Yeah.
The West Coast or just the IPAs that they want to slap you in the face
Like
with
when,
a bitter.
when there's a little
Yeah.
resin to it.
Yeah.
You probably won't like the next one.
Well, I might not. But, I don't mind the bitter if it's subtle or if it's balanced.
Yeah.
But-
This has a really good balance.
Yeah, that's the thing. The thing with this one, it is a good balance. So, this would be definitely one that I would love to have again. I'm struggling between would I go back for a pint of the Dunkel or the pub ale right
And they
now.
also have an Oktoberfest that we didn't even try.
Yeah,
I mean,
we may try that afterwards, but this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
show's only live for so long. So
And our staff has now left us.
yeah.
We don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
All right.
And,
Well, let's
All right.
move on to the Artemis IPA.
Yeah, just IPA.
What's the? Do we know the?
We do,
Okay.
but I'm not going to tell you.
All right. Well, cheers, mates.
Cheers,
Appreciate
guys.
you guys checking out this video for sure.
They just list this as a regular IPA, 5%. Now, as y'all heard earlier, Stuart, the owner, had said that there are different versions of Artemis out there.
Coming out.
Yeah,
This
or
is
coming
the first
out,
one.
yeah.
Yep.
So this is Artemis 1, I guess, or just Artemis, and I guess the rest are going to be given a number. So,
Yep.
I've seen that before, and I think we did one where they were comparing
Clear.
beers and rating them off. They had changed one of the hops in them. I don't know, is that something that we all three got together and tried, or it might have been when I was out in Albuquerque? But there was one
with
brewery I
your
went
with your
to.
other beer family.
Maybe, possibly.
Yes.
You know,
Just cheating on us. People.
Yeah.
He's cheating on us.
when I travel, I have to find people that are like-minded. You
Yeah.
know.
So,
This is actually a good IPA. I mean, it tastes like your not middle of the road, middle of America IPA. It's not east,
Standard
it's
American.
not west. This is your IPA where it starts from. You've got that hop aroma, and you can taste the hops and the mild bitterness from the hops. It's
kind of like Stuart said. This
Yeah.
is what they're using for their
Their base,
base.
yeah.
And then they're gonna alter off of this one.
I can
So
see
he said this
why-
one was kind of more citrus.
Yeah.
Citra.
this tastes like a standard IPA.
Yeah,
And
good,
it's really
good
good.
American IPA.
And I would have it again. I would give it a 7.5. I mean, I'm just pleased by
Yep.
it.
I'll agree with that 100%. This is, I think this will make a really good base for them as they look to, kind of migrate. This is a good baseline, and then you can see where you go from there. So I think, for me, even though I'm not the IPA guy, this one's probably a 7 for me, just because it is a little touch of bitter
I
on
was
the
about to
back
say, it's
end.
got more bitter than you like.
Yeah. So just not being the IPA guy again, this one's going to get a 7 for me. But I would be really interested to see what they do on the next, Artemis 2 and how they go from there. Because I think that, they get in some of the hazies with this. I think that would be where I'd really enjoy it. I think,
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Ben. It has a little bit of the bitter back end, and it's more of your standard American IPA for sure. It doesn't overwhelm me. It's a great base beer. I mean, I would buy this in a can all day long, but I think I'm gonna go with you. It's more of a 7 to me. So, but all in all, great showing from Innerspace here. I'm very impressed. The visits I've had in the past have been good, but this one was great.
Yeah.
So
I mean, good job
that's
from
because we're here.
I know,
I mean,
and we got a visit from the owner. I
for
mean,
such
come on,
a small brewery. It's flexing. It's
Yeah.
it's doing really well.
yeah, especially amongst the others. So
We should perhaps try some of the saisons
Yeah.
that he recommended. So I might just do that.
yeah, and I think it's a really interesting, place that they have here. I mean, we're obviously sitting outside. It's a gorgeous day here in Huntsville, and we're sitting outside in kind of their beer garden area. The inside though is neat. They've got a lot of space themed things, some Star Wars stuff, some Star Trek stuff, and that sort of thing in there. And it's just a neat place to come and have a beer if you're in the area. We've got Straight to Hell, kind of a couple blocks down the road, Campus 805, where we started today. We moved down to Yellowhammer, almost next door, and then moved a block down to Innerspace.
and then a block further that way is actually the Brewers Co-op, which is a collaboration between Straight to Ale and Good People. So you can buy. They typically have all of the Good People and Straight to Ale beers on draft, and then they have collab beers that they've done in the brewery there. So
Yeah.
you got 4 or 5 places right here together for sure.
Yeah. And it's been neat because you haven't been to any of these places before. I mean, obviously Jay has because he lives here. But to be able to come to an area where you can hit 3, 4, 5 breweries,
Just walking.
yeah, just walking. I mean, we came into this area and then we've been walking since, and it's been just been a nice afternoon to come try some different beer from some of these different breweries. We've had a good time doing it. We've got our production crew, which is they're lollygagging over there. They're talking amongst themselves and drinking their own beer.
They hadn't seen each other in probably 10 years, so
Yeah,
those two, they're just
yeah,
jibber jab.
Are they tickling each other?
they might be.
Yeah. A tickle fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So unfortunately, you guys can't see that. The camera's faced this way.
Yeah.
not that way.
Fortunately,
Maybe,
y'all
maybe,
cannot
maybe
see.
fortunately, yeah, better route to go. But no, I think it's been obviously great. We started this show 2.5 years ago, and it's been it's the second time we've gotten
It's
together.
just the second time all three of us
And-
have been at the same place at once.
Yeah,
doing
which
this.
is insane because you would think I feel like I see you guys
It's
all the time.
Pretty.
Because we do the show. And we don't live that far apart. And I've seen you, and I've seen you,
Right.
and you've seen him, but we
Yeah,
haven't all
we
three
all-
of us been
I
together,
mean-
but twice in the last,
I don't know.
2+ years.
I kind of like the internet format better. Like the way you can't touch me as much as you do in this
Aw.
one. You've been touching me this whole time.
So the rest of this
Oh,
show
weekend.
is going to be me
Yeah.
loving
It's
on Andy.
a lot of inappropriate
Yes.
violation of personal space.
He may say that he doesn't like it, but you know that he does.
I'm a bit bothered by it.
Probably
why
make
I'm-
some other people jealous.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm in the attic.
Yeah.
No touching. It's a no
There's
touch
no
zone.
touching in that.
For
No touch
attic
zone.
tours.
If you come for an
you
attic
must
tour,
keep your 6
you
feet.
cannot touch. And that is one of the rules. Do you have like a little bubble around you or something like?
I have bubble wrap.
You don't get
Yeah,
one of those.
I don't have the good bubbles. I just wrap and
You don't-
bubble, and so it's a little noisy when I give the tours. But it is amazingly flexible, and I can still beat you in ping pong because you cannot leave the attic until you beat me in ping pong. So there's still some people there that.
That's part of the
Yeah.
attic tour, huh?
Yeah, don't
Oh.
you recall? Yeah. There's just.
No, I beat you
sitting
in
there.
ping pong.
Anyway, yeah.
All right.
Can we end this?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, we have to like jump over the table because our production crew has left us.
Gladly.
I think
So
Andy
yeah,
Let's
we
end
can
this.
end this. Hey, before you do that though, hey, appreciate you watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell. Again, we are here at Innerspace Brewing in Huntsville, Alabama, and
Come on.
I'd rather be watching Hopped Up Beer Review than actually be on Hopped Up Beer Review.
I'd rather be.
There are dog fights inside.
Place your
so
bets.
there you go. But no,
But it is pet friendly.
yes, very pet friendly.
But the pets aren't friendly.
Yeah, that's right. But no, we definitely appreciate you guys checking out this video. It's live. We don't really know what to do. This is not our normal thing. So thanks for checking it out.
Do I just hit the X?
I don't know.
Are you sure you want to stop streaming?
Yes.
End it.